Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Gods and
Okay.
Now, do you know how to start the show? Because I do not remember.
Well, in the past, we had just started it. I don't think there was an actual, hi, how's it going?
Like there was a discussion going on, and suddenly we
just started.
just kind of began.
Yeah. I think we were talking over the stars in the intro right now, and, and the guy saying gods and monsters.
I was hoping somebody would ask me one day where that came from. The three different sound bites from that.
Oh, and is from a specific
yes,
place?
gods and monsters all came from three different sci-fi nerdy type things.
Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where
What a
that
great
comes
reveal
from?
right off the top of the show. The first one is gods is being said by one of the main characters of Game of Thrones. Played by Peter Dinklage.
See, I actually thought that came from something like Gladiator or something like that.
It was the episode where he was defending himself. He was his own lawyer. He was on trial. And it was Peter Dinklage.
What season was that?
Oh, I don't remember. It's at least 3 seasons ago, where he says something in his speech, and he says the word gods. And then the "and" comes from the Darth Vader, great YouTube spoof Darth Vader clip where they put different versions of James Earl Jones's voice in scenes from Star Wars. And it was just him saying, "and." And then Monsters comes from Arrested Development.
What?
When Buster got his hand bitten off by the seal, and he had to wear a hook, and he was in bed looking at himself, and he's like, "I'm a monster!" So it's him screaming the word monsters all the way out.
Does he say monster or monsters?
He says monster, but don't tell anybody.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Because the music kind of swells up as he says monster, and it doesn't say the S on the end. But
I will say that's very random.
So random.
Where that came from.
I always remember Buster shouting out, "I'm a monster!" But he says it so loud, but it's the way he does it, and it leads into the applause coming into the show.
Do you think
we're talking 5 minutes about the opening of the show?
Yeah.
Today.
Do you think they'll ever make another season of?
As a matter of fact,
Arrested Development,
if
or a
you
movie?
follow Ron Howard on Twitter, he was in the audio booth 2 weeks ago for all of his narrations. So yes,
Great.
another season is coming up. He's actually, if he's in the audio booth, that means there's scripts.
I can't figure out if I loved the last season or I hated the last season.
I think we had talked about it before. To me, it felt like season 3 was like homework. It was a lot of inside jokes, and the jokes that were in there, you almost had to watch those episodes 2-3 times to get like, oh, look what's happening there, or look what happened in the background. I still liked it, but
I think it was brilliant in the way that David Lynch plans out his stuff, because he knows what he's doing. He doesn't tell us, but he knows.
He doesn't tell us.
He
or
knows what
anybody.
he's doing. But that whole season was amazing in many ways, but very frustrating in others.
Arrested Development or Twin
Development.
Peaks? Okay.
Arrested Development.
Did you finish Twin Peaks, or you only got through the 4 episodes you watched with me?
Oh, I didn't. I never went back.
It's
We actually talked about that in the last show here that we did, where I asked you if you were satisfied, and you said very much so.
It's everything you wanted, but nothing you expected.
That's
I think what I said.
that's-
I watched that episode. That was a good episode of Gods and Monsters.
Is that something? Is that something you came up with?
Yeah, I think it was, and I'd said that about 3 years ago, like when Hesitation Marks came out. Nine Inch Nails album. It was like, what are we getting? What are we getting? And we got this, and I was like, huh. Nothing I expected, but everything I just screwed it up.
What was
nothing I wanted? Everything I expected.
Hesitation Marks. I enjoyed
very much.
You know what though? It's weird, and I'm like this with Beastie Boys albums, which there'll never be another one, and Nine Inch Nails albums, where the first time I listened to it, I'm just like,
That's what happened with me when Paul's Boutique came out. It's like, here comes the License to Ill sequel, and it's like, you know. Then you read the lyrics, and then you listen to it a few times, and check out that sample, and now it's like my favorite album of all time.
But I mean, is that a good way to do for an artist to make something? Is to make something so obscure and bizarre and just different?
Not for selling albums, I don't think.
It forces your audience to hate it.
Right.
And then it forces them to play it over and over again until they like it.
I remember when The Fragile came out in 1999. That was his big return after 4 years. It was #1 on Billboard the first week. In the second week, it dropped out of the top 10. It's like you have to enjoy this album numerous times to get into it.
Isn't that I think as
And the
artists,
the peach beer kicks in.
all right, there he is. I think that when you have artists that are, they're on their 7th album now, it's 30 years later, it's their 7th album. I think you get that a lot where they come out and everybody who's going to buy it buys it, and then it falls off because
that's kind of like the way I think of Kevin Smith movies, where it's like the same group of people are always going to see his movies.
That's true.
You might get a few people here and there, but it's like Kevin Smith movies are going to be seen by the Kevin Smith fans, and sometimes that's it.
And that rolls into the next thing I love to talk about,
Yes.
and that is the Marvel Extended Universe. It's like, okay, so Infinity War is coming out next
Pretty
week?
soon.
2 weeks?
A couple. I don't think,
It's May. I believe it's May. But, okay.
but it's separate from the Solo movie, which I know is May 25th because it's the last day of school.
Yeah, that movie.
Uh-oh.
No. I've heard some things, and then the new trailer come out, and everybody's like, okay, I'm in.
Okay, I'm in, yeah.
So anyway,
ahead.
Infinity War. I feel like I've spent some time watching some of the films that I hadn't been watching because I'd like to get caught up and make sure I know all the characters and all that good stuff. But isn't there a finite number of people who are going to watch this film? Like only the people who are into those superhero movies and
Right.
only the people
Right.
who have seen most of the others. Like
Correct.
Nobody's going into Infinity War going, now, who's that guy flying around in the red suit?
Correct, right. There's no confusion by
Right.
the people that are in the audience there
So-
for that first week.
Is there a point of diminishing return for Marvel
You would
and
think so.
Disney to stop making these movies because fewer and fewer and fewer people are going to be watching them?
I bet they
because
thought that.
it
and
takes
then,
too much.
And then Black Panther came out, and now it's like, oh my, it's made more money than any other MCU movie.
Well, I think that's special because, first of all, Black Panther, that was his origin movie or whatever,
Right.
and those are good movies to get in on, especially if you're just going to watch like a one-off or something like that. You don't go into Civil War going, this movie looks kind of cool. What's this about?
So they're some kind of superheroes.
All right, who's that guy? Wait, who's that guy? Who's that girl?
I gotta believe, and I have no idea. I gotta believe that somebody's got to die in this movie coming up, Civil War. You can't just keep not dying.
I got into a quick argument with somebody, and they were like, "Well, that's the difference between Joss Whedon and whoever's directing this one.
I don't even know.
Is that Joss Whedon will kill people? He'll kill his characters. He doesn't care. And Game of Thrones, they'll kill entire families.
Oh, sure.
But Marvel won't kill their bread and butter. They don't want to kill anybody. I'm like, well, they did in Avengers 2. They killed somebody, the brother of.
Yeah, that's right.
the
Right
Russian-
at the end of the movie.
Yeah, the Russian brother.
He plays. He's really fast.
Yes.
Yes,
Not
that's
fast
terrible.
enough.
That's terrible because my daughter loves that character in the other X-Men universe. Same character.
The Flash.
Not the Flash, though. We're supposed to be doing a podcast about Gods and Monsters, and I'm bad with the names and the characters, and I should know that immediately.
Well, you're
that
getting
that
older,
is
Art. I mean,
the,
you
the character. He runs fast, and
You got other things to be concerned
so
with.
bad. Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Art.
Greg, what are you drinking this evening?
Our lovely hostess tonight, Anna Young, or did she take his name? Oh crap, I can't remember now.
I haven't seen Anna Fisher yet.
We're just gonna call her
Anna Young.
Anna.
Yes.
Half owner of Gods and Monsters
Yes.
here with the very lovely Todd Fisher as well. She forced me to drink a blueberry maple stout from I don't know what brewery.
Oh,
this
let's
is.
get the
It's,
reading glasses on.
Saugatuck.
Sautek?
Saugatuck.
Saugatek.
Brewing Company. It's a delicious little stout. Yeah, I like it a lot. What are you drinking?
I've had the Cider Boys before, the apple, and she recommended the peach, and it is very good. I would have a second one of these if you see the waitress walk by, get me a second one.
I believe you said it was very peachy.
Yes, it was very peachy, but not too peachy. So that's good.
But that is an actual apple cider with just some peach flavor, yes?
It says Cider Boys Apple Peach Hard Cider. Yeah,
There it
you're
is.
right. They
All
threw
right.
a little apple in there as well. Maybe that's
Very
why
good.
it's not too peachy, because there's a little bit of apple in there.
Nice.
That's true. And I think later this evening, if not in this episode, we're going to see Todd Fisher in another episode, because I predict we're gonna
need
do a couple
to,
episodes here
to
because
talk to him and say what's
there's
going
been a
on.
lot going on. Last time we were together was for Star Wars, which we did, I believe, 4 or 5 hours live on Facebook, which turned out pretty well. The downside these days to being in the lobby of a theater is that everything is assigned seating. We've talked about that before, and there's no lines anymore. There's no people in costumes and waiting in line. I've been in line 4 hours.
It
And
was almost boring
Yeah.
because people would go in and see the movie. They'd come out. They'd be all excited and yay. A few people.
but then we
sat
can't
down.
ask them too many questions because we don't
Yeah.
want them to spoil it.
You know what? Almost every theater now is becoming that way. I went to
Assigned
AMC 18 over in Altamont to
Yep.
see
Altamont
Ready
Mall.
Player One,
Yes.
and she showed me the little chart, and she's like, "Where would you like to sit?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then she says all the green spots are still good. And like the entire theater was green.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, that one.
Right, you
right in the
right
middle.
in the center.
Right
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
middle.
we're playing. This is our 21st century version of Pin the Tail on the Donkey. Was just straight in and point. So that it has taken the fun out of it. But then now, knowing that Star Wars is about to come out again, the Solo movie, it's like.
Now, here's
wait
a
in
question for
line.
you. With that new way of buying tickets and seeing movies,
Hmm?
if you show up at the theater and the only thing available is the outside edges or maybe the front row or something like that, would you be more inclined to wait for another showing where you could get a better seat?
Yeah, I think so, because you sit there and you look at it and it's like, oh, I know that's a bad seat. I know that's a bad seat. I'm not
Yeah.
going to push that button. I'll do another show, which, is only 30 minutes later because every movie plays every half hour.
Because now that movies are $16, $18, it's like, I want to enjoy this film. I don't want to sit and I don't want to pay as much money as it costs to see this movie. My time is not worth that much. I can wait
Right, you can wait a little bit.
to
You know
get a
what?
better seat.
I see
and
now
better
that
experience.
doesn't bother me like I think it used to. Was I would never sit in the very first row of a movie. That's ridiculous.
No,
because your head's
no.
tipped way up. But I have no problem sitting like the fourth or fifth row. I like the idea that I don't ever have to turn, or I almost have to turn my head, but I
Yeah.
don't. But when you sit way, way back in a theater, what's the difference between sitting at home and watching this, or sitting in a theater and the screen's the same size?
Well, I'll tell you, you can pause the movie at home to go to the bathroom.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so I went to see Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
And I saw it in IMAX 3D. And I chose to sit in a place, and I had the option. I chose to sit in a place where I definitely didn't have to turn my head at all, because I was afraid if you watch with those weird glasses, if you just tilt your head, things start to look weird. Like
That's
you'll start
distracting.
seeing the ghosts and the double vision type
Becomes
stuff.
distracting.
So I was afraid that if I sat too close, certainly it would have been more immersive because it would have been awesome. But I was afraid that stuff toward the corners would start getting that like ghosty weirdness. But I really enjoyed that.
Did you
movie.
pick 3D because it was the only one available at the time, or you
No.
wanted to see it in 3D?
I was told to see that on the biggest screen I could.
Yep.
And I don't go to movies anymore, so maybe one or two a year, if at best.
It needs to be theater worthy.
It needs to be a film that I must see on a big screen with explosions all around my head and stuff like that. I didn't even see Blade Runner 2048.
Oh, you did not see
In
that in the
the
theater.
theater,
Have you
no.
seen it since then? No.
I have.
Okay.
I regret not seeing it in the
Yeah,
theater.
because it sounded amazing.
It was quite the film. I really enjoyed it.
You watched it at home, turned the volume up loud.
I did.
Yeah.
I think I wore headphones for it. I think I
feel
wore
like-
my headphones.
I feel like that movie's not going to get the love as time goes on for some reason. And
Well-
it didn't do a lot huge box office business, but
Here's the thing. It was 35 years since the first one.
Too long
So that's a long time between sequels.
for a cult sequel.
There is an entire generation of people who went to see that movie not knowing it was a sequel.
Correct.
And they came out of it going, that was kind of boring. I mean, it was nice, but it was boring.
Oh, Han Solo's in this movie. Let's go see it.
Yeah. So I almost punched my friend in the face when he said that because I'm just like, you didn't know? You didn't know it was a sequel. Okay.
You'd
great.
be wouldn't you be a little lost? I mean, I know you can still follow along, but to appreciate it more, you definitely got to know
feel-
that there's the first one exists.
Well, not just that. I think that that was maybe on the marketing department to not drive home the fact that it was a sequel. Like when they did the Ghostbusters reboot, they made it pretty clear that hey, by the way, everybody, there was a whole thing like 30 years ago.
We're gonna make mention of it, little
Yeah.
spots here and there.
And
Dan
so,
Aykroyd.
if you wanted to go back and watch a good movie, you could go see that and then come see our piece of crap. I think I really wish maybe they would have hinted that it was an absolute sequel.
referring to Blade Runner.
Yes. Because I think a lot of people, I mean, not a lot, probably 5% went into that movie going, ooh, this looked cool in the previews, and then they got in there and like,
Right.
oh my God, 4 minutes of nothing happening.
So I guess a good compliment for the movie is that you wish you had seen it in the theater.
Yes, I really did enjoy the movie. But then again, I really enjoyed Blade Runner because I watch a movie to watch a movie,
Yeah.
not to be blasted in the face with explosions and noises.
So you saw Ready Player One. You
I
enjoyed
did.
that? I saw that in the theater. I saw it in the same theater you did it.
Oh,
at,
did?
Altamont. And
Did you see it in the 3D and everything?
yes, I
Okay.
did. I enjoyed it so much. I
Yeah.
saw it with my daughter, who loves Back to the Future
Sure.
and Spielberg. So she was all in with that stuff. It was great. All the things that would pop in the DeLorean and stuff. And I almost forgot I was watching a Spielberg movie until suddenly at the end when the guy, sorry, spoiler alert, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but the guy comes up with the gun and he's going to, and it just, he doesn't.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'm watching a Spielberg movie. This isn't going to be blood and guts. It's going to be a story.
There were a few times that were unmistakable that it was a Spielberg movie, and one of those times, or maybe a couple times, was when the very iconic Spielberg music came in, and it was just like, this movie moves at 100 miles an hour for 2 hours, and then for like 2-minute parts in the movie, everything just screeches to a complete stop, and there's sappy music, and you know what's going on, and you're just like, oh.
Same composer that did Back to the Future, I believe.
Yeah? That's,
which is a Spielberg-produced movie.
Silverdini or
yes,
something like that?
that's correct.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. That may not be the correct pronunciation, but I knew what you meant.
There's an S and then a Dini.
There's
and
a V in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Once again.
Did your daughter, clearly she didn't know what was going on in the middle of that movie.
You saw the picture I put up when you mentioned the one thing that was not mentioned at all in the trailers. Outstanding. I love that scene so much. And I knew it. And even there was a character in the movie.
Knew it?
No, I knew
okay.
it that looking around that there were people that they were younger. They didn't see. Do we want to say?
No, we'll leave that.
Okay,
I mean,
okay. But I put that photo up on your page when you mentioned that. You didn't mention it. I threw up a photo, which
if you're over 30 years old, this is the biggest treat.
And the music that they used for that scene was
everything
the
is
exact
perfect.
music. You knew Spielberg had a freaking smile on his face when he directed those scenes because he loved that director.
I don't know if that was they went to the actual place or they recreated
I don't think
it
they
digitally.
could have because all the furniture and the carpeting, it was all the same. And that wide shot, when it first, the theater was totally silent.
Yeah.
And the first scene comes up, and it's the wide shot of the inside of the hotel, and I went, holy shit. I said it out loud. Like, I couldn't believe that this was happening.
I'm pretty sure I said holy shit, too.
Oh, it was so great. And, of course, I don't want to give it too much away, but it was great. And you're right. A certain age or younger is going to be like,
They're just not,
what
they
is
don't know
this?
what it is.
What's happening to that elevator? I mean, what's happening?
Who's that woman? Why is what the hell?
Oh, and of all the things that they're going to take from that movie, they took that scene from the bathtub. I thought it was just going to be like the typing on the type. Oh, they took that scene. Oh, so great.
They spent like 15 minutes in that hotel.
It's funny that a PG movie made such a great reference to a really R-rated movie.
And did you see the one fuck they shoehorned into it?
Yes, there was. You're allowed to do one when it's a PG.
And
13.
It's so dumb. Why? They did not need to do that.
It's like they did it because we got
Because
a free
they
one.
could, yeah.
We got a free one. Let's use it somewhere.
It was out of place. It did not need to be there. And I think that when parents are in the theater there with their 9-year-olds, they're just like, oh, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you you saw Rogue One, right?
I did,
You're
yes.
familiar with the bad guy from Rogue One was the bad guy in Ready Player One. Krennic.
Was he?
General Krennic.
Oh.
Don't choke on your aspirations, says Darth Vader to him as he was choking him on the ground in Rogue One.
I did not.
That was the bad guy
yeah.
from Ready Player One.
Okay.
I've never heard of this guy. I still don't know his name, but he's a really good actor. I like him. He was in both of those movies.
I feel like they went with a bunch of actors that nobody had ever heard of before because they spent every penny they could scrape up to licensing.
Absolutely. Think of the DVD extras of this movie is going to be great to see all the things that they threw into this movie.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's no way you could see it all.
No, what the big battle scene, and they all go fighting, and they're in the snow, and it's like every character from everything you ever grew up with that had a sword in their hand was coming at them.
So one of my problems with the movie, though, is that this takes place in 2065 or something like that.
Yeah.
So 2065. Had there really not been any other pop icon things happening between the 80s, 90s, and now? Or are we to assume that that's just every other character that we saw? It might have been something else.
Okay, maybe I'll go with that.
Because, I mean, you had the 101s and, wait, was that what it's called? IOIs. The IOI team, and they would all just drive like, what was that car? Like from that Will Smith movie.
Men in Black?
Men in Black. No. The future, the robot.
iRobot. Yeah.
Cars or something like that. They had all the same cars, but all the other players had like
the DeLorean.
They had Bigfoot and some of the other cars and some. The Akira bike was cool.
Yeah. I'm unfamiliar with the book, which apparently everybody loved.
Yeah.
From how many years ago? But that was just a lover of the '80s. Whoever wrote this book. And I'm sure the author.
Yeah.
I hope to hear that the author is quite pleased with that movie because he should be. It was so well done.
I understand that the book is different, but I don't know about how different.
I
or-
wonder
or
if
what's different.
the stuff that we won't mention from that hotel was in the book.
I don't know.
I'm curious.
But I got to assume that whoever wrote the book is 46 years old and probably named Greg Moan because some of his favorite stuff was prominently displayed in that
We're
movie.
still in that window of age where everything written right now is meant for us. Every
Yeah.
inside joke on Family Guy is meant for us, and The Simpsons are still meant for us. And a movie like this was meant for us, for sure.
I agree completely. And that movie had a lot to like for pretty much everyone. Mm-hmm. It's like watching a Pixar film, but for adults.
Right, pretty bleak future, but hey, VR's still good.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately I think that's where we're headed. To be completely honest, either that or the Wall-E direction.
Oh, where it's just the whole planet is garbage, and we're all fat
And
and,
we're all
living
fat,
on a boat. we're kind of heading that way. So
I'd be okay with that.
You saw that movie. Anything else you'd seen in the theater since then? You said you don't go to the theater that much.
Nope, that was my 2018 movie.
And you did not see The Last Jedi in the theater?
I didn't see The Last Jedi,
At
period,
all. Oh,
yet.
what the hell? We're doing a podcast about sci-fi and gods and monsters. You haven't even seen the movie. This is why
Well-
people don't watch.
I'm sorry. What's that about?
It's about... It used to be about a girl and a boy in a space western.
Interesting.
Same girl, same boy, but they're just old as hell now.
Oh.
And actually, they're both dead.
Oh.
No.
No.
Only one in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll take a look. I'll see if I
It's
can.
out now on Blu-ray, or
see if I can
you should at
find it.
least. Yeah. I haven't bought the Blu-ray yet either because we're just there's other things to buy out there right now and watch.
Do you know I am so lazy that I have movies on Blu-ray and stuff in my little cabinet. I will rather watch my 1080 streaming on my Apple TV rather than get up
Of the same movie. The other day I came home. I was out with the girls doing something, and I came home, and Kristen was watching Casino Royale, the first James Bond movie with what's his name?
Not David Craig.
Daniel Craig. Thank you. She had not seen any of the Daniel Craig movies. I've loved every single one of them. Bought every one of them on Blu-ray. She's watching it on Bravo channel or some channel like that with commercials, and I'm like, Stop.
480p or something.
and it comes to the scene where they cut the hole in the chair and they sit him down.
See, I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh.
I've seen the other two.
Oh,
Wait, no.
so
I haven't
you didn't
seen
see his first one
I
because they're
haven't
all
seen
kind
the-
of connected together.
I haven't seen the first
Casino
one
Royale,
where they kill his wife.
Quantum of Solace.
I've seen Quantum of Solace.
That was like a direct sequel. Like when the movie ended, Quantum of Solace began.
Okay.
How could you not?
And I've definitely saw the third one.
Spectre.
Spectre
no,
was
no,
great.
Skyfall. Sorry, Skyfall,
Skyfall.
and then Spectre was the next one.
I didn't
so
see
he's made
Spectre
4.
yet.
So
He's making a 5th.
Yes, and he's making the 5th right now. And I didn't think he was going to come back.
Oh crap! Okay, so we have to.
Here we go.
We have to talk really quickly. I don't mean to jump track. Here,
That's all
but-
right. Let's jump around.
Okay, so
Just makes it harder to write the YouTube description on what the episode's about.
Jurassic World Part 3 is coming out.
No, 2, isn't it?
No, 2 already came out, didn't it?
Did it?
Oh crap! Now I can't remember. Well,
Jurassic World 2. Did that come out yet? No.
oh, okay.
All
So
right. Thank you.
that's
Thank
that's
you.
the preview I saw. Never mind. I actually thought because I'm so bad at watching.
Well, the trailers, the hype has been going on for almost a year. You probably thought it came and went already.
yeah, I think that's what it must have been. And that's why I was sitting in the theater going, really? They're making another one?
Right.
The other one just came out like
Right.
last year or something like that. Never mind then, because I was going to bitch and complain about them just crapping out another
a
Jurassic
third
World.
one, right? When in fact they're just scrapping out the second one just
Okay.
now. I never saw Jurassic World. Did you?
I did not, but in the sequel, there is a very surprise guest coming back.
Oh yeah, he's in the trailer, so I don't know how big of a surprise it is.
Dr. Malcolm Ian.
Yes.
Ian Malcolm.
I think he'll wear a shirt this time though. He wore that scene where he's kind of draped over without the shirt on was like a. That was
Do you know he has become like a Silver Fox icon to all these like geek girls?
Yeah.
They want in his shorts.
Yeah.
Big time.
He kind of became kind of a quirky Christopher Walken type.
What was some of his early movies? Like Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah, The Fly, of course. He
The
kind of was
Fly.
big with The Fly with Gina Davis.
But, I mean, he
I
was-
loved him in what was the movie?
He was almost a sex symbol in The Fly because he was opposite Gina Davis, and that was kind of hot.
What was the one that had the Dr. Dre's first solo song, 187?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a Jeff Goldblum movie that he did with Lawrence Fishburne. I can't remember the name of it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got lots of. He doesn't really star in movies very
I've
much.
never-
Though. He's never been the star except for The Fly that I can think of.
Well, I mean, Jurassic Park 2. He was the star of that movie.
Okay, true.
But, that movie was crap. I've just never seen him as a sex symbol or as a leading type man, whatever. And now all of a sudden, he's just like hotter than...
Yeah, apartments.com.
Oh,
He got a whole different audience now. You know?
Is he still running those commercials?
No, I
or-
haven't seen.
no,
I haven't
that's a
seen
long
those
time, yeah.
anymore because it's like, hey, no, I'm doing these Jurassic movies now. I don't need that anymore. So,
But he was not in the first Jurassic World, was he?
correct. He
What was
wasn't.
it?
He wasn't in
Don't
the
know.
second Jurassic Park either. He wasn't in the second Jurassic Park movie either.
He was. He was the lead character of the second.
Oh, I was saying the third one. He
Third
was not
one.
in the third one.
Well, nobody saw the
That's
third one because it's garbage.
Right. That's when
That's
Sam
when-
Neill came back for the
That's
third
right.
one.
Wait, did the
Laura
girl
Dern?
come back?
No,
Dern
Laura
come back?
Dern. No.
No, she was just like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah. No, she did not. No. But she's popped up a lot lately. She did Twin Peaks and Star Wars in 1 year. That's a sci-fi year for her, for sure.
Laura Dern.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to think she was really, really pretty.
Wild at heart. Oh.
And the show comes to a screeching halt. Okay.
Oh, no.
So what else is going on? We've got the Incredibles sequel finally coming out.
May 25th is Solo, yes.
We have a Lost in Space
Netflix.
movie remake.
Amazon. Is it Netflix or
It's
Amazon?
Netflix. That
Okay.
comes out today, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
So much.
I'm behind. I haven't watched Stranger Things Season 2 yet.
What?
I told myself, I'm watching it over Christmas break. Didn't. I'm watching it over spring break. Didn't.
What'd you do over spring break?
Over spring break,
some time with the kids?
I started a new podcast.
What?
So over spring break,
Yes.
the girls and I went down to our favorite place to camp at Fort Wilderness Campgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
We rented a golf cart, and I let Reese drive around as I recorded the entire campgrounds from how to get to every single camping site. And I started a podcast called the Fort Wilderness Podcast. The intro to the show, it's a 30-second open,
And
is
then
up right
you
now.
abruptly got a cease and desist.
No. The thing is, Mickey Mouse is not in there anywhere.
All
I
right.
made my own logo,
Okay.
called the Fort Wilderness Podcast, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube. But I also said, all right, I'm going to figure out this whole
And this is-
iTunes thing. I got to figure this thing out. So I
Okay.
host it on Podbean. And all I've done so far is the 30-second open. I've announced it that it's starting June 1st. And
Oh.
there's a trailer for it, and it's a 30-second trailer that I put together. And you can find it on Podbean. I've started the Fort Wilderness Podcast Facebook page, the Podbean page, and the Podbean page links to iTunes. I finally figured out how to do that.
Hey,
now
we've
that I
only
know how
been
to do
doing
that,
this for 2 years.
I want to just go back and grab the audio recordings of every show we've done. How
Yeah.
many we've done? Like 6 or 7? No, 120
12?
something.
Oh.
So that would be a lot. Podbean is for free, but I bet there's a point where I'm going to reach 5 gigs and they're going to be like, all right,
Yeah.
you're full of space. Now you get to start charging us. But it's called the Fort Wilderness Podcast. The portions of the show will be this. Part 1 is we say, welcome to the show. We love camping. We love Disney. Reese is going to give you a golf cart tour, how to get from the front entrance to the 100 campground loop.
so
And-
Reese is on it, or she's doing?
yeah,
Okay.
she's got her own segment in it, which is just the drive the golf cart. Here's how you get to this
That's
at the
cool.
campgrounds.
All right.
The other segment is Riley, who says, they have a. You've been to Fort Wilderness maybe one time when we did
maybe
it.
once, yeah.
They have a giant drive-in theater style outdoor movie theater screen at
Neat.
the campgrounds, and every night they do Chip and Dale come out and sing songs, roast marshmallows, and then when it gets dark, they play a Disney movie every night. So Riley's going to do here's the movie for the night. She's going to give like all the movies for that month because it's only going to be a monthly podcast, once a month.
Oh, okay.
Then part 3 of the show is me doing a sit-down interview with somebody in their giant RV. Saying, here's why we come here, here's my RV. And so when I made that announcement I found 6 or 7 different Fort Wilderness Facebook pages that people have started. And I just hit them all with my opening to the show. It's 30 seconds long. And they were like, we love this is awesome. And one woman who runs a page, and she's the administrator of the I love Fort Wilderness camping something. I don't know. But she's like, oh, we're coming there in July. I was like, can we sit down and interview you? She's like, yeah, we got in a big RV. And
Oh, that's
so it's
great.
going to be about people who travel and have the giant RV and give me a tour of your RV and what are your luxury items that you love about it. And so
Show me
it's
all
gonna be
your
like that.
valuable stuff, and I
Right.
will promise to not steal it.
So I've always loved camping at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah.
And I've
Well,
always
let's
loved
be
Disney.
real.
So
it's
I've
not
combined
exactly.
the two.
It's not exactly camping.
It's not.
No.
It's not camping at all. It's luxury.
It's going outside.
It's
Yeah.
5-star camping.
There you go.
Which is you open up your tent and there's a bus there to pick you up, take you to wherever you want to go. So we've always loved Fort Wilderness, and I just talked about it with the girls over spring break, and it's like, I want to start a Fort Wilderness podcast where we just interview people in their RVs.
And they were probably like, Dad, no.
But then I was like, Reese, I'll let you drive the golf cart. So she hadn't done that before.
Oh, I thought they would be all in because they love going there.
Yeah. So and I didn't go crazy with, all right, I'm going to do the GoPro and I'm going to bring the big camera. I was like, no. I'm just going to use and do 1080, 60 frames, whatever.
What, on your phone?
On the iPhone. And
Whoa.
I shot the whole thing on the iPhone, and it looks great. It's all outdoors and sunshine, and it looks beautiful.
Nice.
So my little tripod thingy for the iPhone, I did this, and she
you
drove
have
the golf cart.
You have a Steadicam.
So
right?
we did the Steadicam thing, and I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. It starts June 1st.
Great.
There we go. Good plug.
So
that's what I did over spring break. What did you do over spring break? Send you a link.
The same
I did.
stuff I always do. I go to Daytona Beach and go to the stripper.
Had to have been the first spring break that was chilly. It was cold for spring break, wasn't it?
I didn't do anything. So
it's the first spring break here in Central Florida, I think, ever, where it was actually cold outside. We've had a great few months of weather here.
Oh, I keep saying this is the last day. I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of it, and then Sunday we're gonna have another cold front come through.
Yeah.
And we might get 2 or 3 more days of just it's so nice.
We've been so lucky with weather this year. You just expect at any moment it's like, all right, spring break, 100 degrees.
Yeah,
that's the end of it.
Normally in the middle of April, I'm already starting to get a little annoyed about, oh my God, it's 93 tomorrow. Ugh.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a single day in the above 90 yet. I think tomorrow is going to be the hottest day that we've ever had this year, and I'm very pleased because 3 out of the 4 of my cars are convertible, and I don't like to run the air conditioning in them.
3 or 4 out of my cars, lovey.
Whatever. Yeah, 3 out of 4 of my cars are probably worth the same as one.
3 out of 4 of my Miatas.
Yeah.
Here. You play this, and then while you play it, I'm going to play the opening to the new podcast. This is the Fort Wilderness podcast beginning June 1st.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. Thanks for sailing with us.
All ashore that's going ashore.
Have a great visit.
Well, Margaret, here we are at Disney World Campgrounds.
I'm done with iPhone.
You got rid of iPhone.
I did.
You did. You were hinting towards that on Facebook. You're done.
This is so good.
And you're happy, aren't you?
I do like this phone a lot.
What made you finally say I'm making the change?
Okay, there were 2 things that happened, and this is not a knock on Apple. I enjoy Apple products. I've enjoyed them for 10 years. So I have an iPhone 6. So it was time when the iPhone 10 came out and the 8 and the 8S. It was time for me to upgrade, and I was 3 years. So I was excited about getting the new iPhone, and the iPhone X looked nice. It definitely did. But I've known enough not to get the first new product from Apple because they never give you the full feature set. They never, have it right on the first try. They got great products. It's just, wait another cycle. The Apple Watch is still not good yet.
Did it really take off?
Well, it's good. It's not great. No, it's actually the biggest selling smartwatch of all the others combined.
Oh.
So it's popular and it's good. It's just not great yet. So anyway, I had heard that if my phone was had battery issues, it was dying with 20% left and stuff like that. It would just I would get maybe 6 or 8 hours out of it without having to plug it in or whatever.
You didn't get a full day out of it like you used to.
Correct. So I went to the Apple Store and I wanted to get a battery replacement because they had just recently dropped their prices from $99 down to $39. And I'm like, oh, that's time. Okay, great. So I'll get a lot of functionality back. So I went there, and the process, the way they treat their people, their customers, I was not pleased with. I had to see somebody to register to see somebody. So I was like, why can't you just help me?
Is this an Apple store or an AT&T store?
It was the Apple store in the Altamont Mall. So, they were there for that reason only. So it was weird. I had to see somebody, and then when I started to see somebody, I was told that they didn't have any batteries.
What?
Yeah, I know. This is an Apple store with no batteries for my phone. But they would have them in 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, no. That's not a thing. How is that a thing?
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So I went from the Apple store in the Ultima Mall. I went toward my house, and I passed no less than 3 you fix it, you buy it, or whatever places. And I went to one of them, and for like $59, only $20 more, they were like, yeah, we got a battery. We can put it in right now.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, okay, we'll put it in right now. And
Was it a refurbished battery or was it brand new?
Brand new battery.
Unbelievable.
And 28 minutes later, or 22 minutes later, something like that, I was walking out with a brand new battery, and the phone is working fantastic. Now, that does not mean that I was happy with the phone still, because it's old and it's, I wanted a new phone, and I was certainly not happy with what Apple was offering at the time. There's something weird about that iPhone X. The Face ID, you have to look at it and it unlocks, which is great, but it doesn't really unlock. You still have to like slide the screen up, and it's like no different than it used to be. Watch, there's a fingerprint reader on the back of my phone. I'm going to touch it now. It's so fast and it's so good, and it was time for me to jump. And this was like $250. No, it was $350 cheaper than a comparable iPhone X.
And how long have you had it now?
A couple of months. I really love it. It's got the same OLED screen as an iPhone.
Do you feel you're missing anything?
Yeah, iMessage is the killer app for Apple. So if you have an Apple phone and you love your iMessage, you're stuck. Don't jump, because you're not going to be satisfied with the way that Android phones do their messaging. You're just not. But there's so many other cool things that you might just be like, But if you message a lot, and a lot of kids, that's all they do all day long. That's something that matters. So that's it. And I'm just really happy with that phone, and that's all I got to say about that.
Well, it's very good. You made the jump, and you're happy about it.
Yeah.
You ever think sometimes, I should have just gone to the iPhone 8?
Yeah, sure I do. And next year when they do a better iPhone X, iPhone X2, iPhone 11, whatever it is, maybe I'll jump back. But,
you have a contract
or in
of some
2 years.
kind?
No, there's no more contracts.
Good.
You don't get contracts with phones anymore.
That's good.
That's just the way it is.
I
But
haven't
you're
done so
ended up
long.
paying $650, $850, $1,000 for a phone, and that's so scary, because it's this little thing that just you've dropped it out of your pants, and then crack and smash, and then no good.
Well, you've had other things going on, I'm sure. I see the boss back there. I was wondering if he was going to sit with us, or maybe we'll
I have
save that for another episode, and we'll just keep talking about our things. You have things.
I have essentially shut down my Miata channel.
Shut it down, really?
Well, not really. I'm no longer making content for my Miata YouTube channel.
Because all 4 cars are in perfect condition and don't need any repairs.
Well, it's really only the 2 cars that I was working on, and they're basically done. So my options are do something dumb with them, which I don't really want to, or get another Miata to fix up and just do the same videos over. And I don't really want to do that. So the friend group that I had that was
which was pretty big.
Yeah, there were like 5 of us. 3 of them don't have Miatas anymore. So the friend group kind of disbanded. Yeah, well, I mean, kids are fickle. They're into something super hard and super fast. I'm slower to join and slower to leave. So it's like, what's going on?
I'd be curious to see you get a Miata in whatever condition it may be, and then the show be about you flipping it. Like what you could get for it after you did a little work on it.
I get weirdly attached to things.
You do the work on it and you don't want to let it go.
Not just that. It's like I do my research before I get something usually. And like I have lenses that I will never use on my cameras, but I won't sell them because I don't know what's wrong with me.
You like them, you love them, you don't want to.
They're in my closet. I don't do anything with them. I just don't sell them.
How many lenses are we talking now?
Like 6 that I just never ever use. I think 2 of them are currently being borrowed long term by other people, friends and stuff like that.
Write their names down because you will forget.
No. I do forget all the time, and then one day I'll like just wake up or something like that.
Where is that?
Dang it. She has my lens now for 2 years. Maybe I should let her know, like, hey, that was a borrow, not a gift.
Right.
But that is pretty much a gift at this point. Who cares? It's not like I'm going to use them. That's the thing.
So the Miata channel is, I don't want to say non-existent. The footage is still there, and if you want to watch the episodes, they're great. It's at youtube.com/
Good Egg Pro, and
Good Egg
and
Pro.
I keep getting new subscribers like all the time. I'm getting like 2 or 3 a day, which is fine. I mean, the information is there, and it's not like it's going to go bad. It's just, it's useful information, but I don't have the energy to put into it anymore.
So what has taken the place of the Miata show now that you're not doing that?
I'm trying to put some more time into models and movies.
Good.
I've just did another one recently. I have another one that we filmed that I haven't edited yet, and it's just hard to find people to do it with me.
You're running out of people?
It's a lot to ask somebody to come over.
Has it been a different model every episode?
Yeah. There was one girl who came back. She requested to come back. But generally speaking, I prefer to only do one episode with each person because otherwise then I'm trying to get the same person to come back over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's more of like a you and me thing where it's like, I feel bad for making somebody to come over and make them watch a movie with me and then do a dumb review.
So the most current one that's up on YouTube right now, what was the film you saw?
The movie that we saw was Beaster Day.
Beaster Day?
That is the most current film. Yes, she wanted to this was like a spur of the moment thing. We wanted to do a movie around Easter.
Okay.
Because that was the time that it was. So we looked for Easter movies, and she wanted to do a horror movie. And you would not believe how few Easter-based horror films there are. Anyway, Beaster Day looked like the dumbest. So that's what we did.
Where did you find it?
It's, I mean, you do a search of Easter horror movies, and there are like 12 or 14 of them, but the majority of them look like something me and John Pickethley did in college, because it is that bad. I mean, some of them, 2 of the movies I looked at were in 4x3.
Oh, how old? What was the movie? The year? Beaster Day.
The Beaster Day was 2014. I think.
Fairly recent.
Fairly recent, and it was funny because as we were watching it, this is a great. I don't know this for sure, but I'm almost sure. I think what happened was they had one actor who was comparable, and he came with a production crew. Mm-hmm. And there's like 4 scenes in this film that are competently done. They're lit well, they're shot well, they're acted well. But that's it.
That's it.
And so when he left, he took all this crap
They had
with
to
him.
write a movie around
and
that.
they were like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, I got an iPhone 6S.
Did
What
they
do you-
at
what do you
least
got?
spread those 4 scenes out throughout the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, spread them out and then fill it with
I mean,
crap.
the movie was written, and they brought this person in, and they filmed his scenes. But when he left, they didn't have the equipment and the stuff, so they had to use not great stuff. And you can absolutely tell which are the good scenes and which are
when
not.
you compare it to something else, yeah, like that
Oh,
thing I
sure.
just showed you, I did that all on my iPhone. If you
That's
keep it all
fantastic.
consistently
No,
all on the
that's
iPhone,
fantastic.
But if you go from iPhone to a red camera, it's like you're screwed.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm trying to do some more models and movies.
Okay, so that was your most recent one that's up online is
Yeah.
Beaster.
Beaster Day.
I love the title already. And then
Well,
what's-
there's a colon to it too. It's Beaster Day : Here Comes Peter Cottonhell.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because puns.
So that was the one that you can find on YouTube now. What's the next one?
The
you've
one
already
coming out,
taped?
hopefully in about 2 weeks, it was.
Oh boy, it was that good.
I don't remember what the
Was
movie
that
was.
good. Anybody in it that we would know?
Oh, I'm sorry, Troll 2.
Oh, okay, Troll 2.
That is a classic bad movie, and I picked the right person to watch it with, and it was terrible. It was not as funny as I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Who was our friend who sat here with us a few times and did a models and movies with you? She did a couple Gods
Beth?
and Monsters with us. Yeah, Beth.
Yeah. Beth, she actually did the very first models and movies.
Correct,
She,
yes.
we watched Barbarella together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Beth. I'll tell you about Beth in a
Oh,
bit.
okay. All
I might
right.
have to cut this part out. Okay.
No. All right, so models and movies is still going strong. I'm very happy to hear that.
I'm trying to get work. And anyway, and beyond all of that stuff, a friend of mine, we're starting a production company, and we have offices and a production, like it's a warehouse basically.
Really?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing short films and
Excellent.
things like that. So I mean, things are happening.
This person you're doing this with, have you worked on projects with him in the past?
Yes.
And
The person here in America that I'm working with, his name is Juan Pantoja. He is a body painter, a film. He's been through the master's program at Full Sail, so he's into film. He's done a few films, and we are working with a guy named Delfino, who is living in England right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually he's financing the company. And so it's sort of an international company.
Oh, this is so cool to hear this. Do we have anything in the future that we might be hinting towards?
We have 2 films in the can.
Oh, that's awesome. You
They're
have been
they're
busy.
Shorts.
Man,
They're
you've been
shorts,
busy.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean,
Has this all happened since I saw you for Star Wars?
Okay, so the first film was, I think, before the New Year, and the second film was after the New Year. I actually built a spaceship.
What?
In this warehouse, and yeah, man.
Wow.
I'm a set builder and a DP and camera and all that good stuff. So yeah, we actually made an actual short film, two short films.
Have you kept this quiet online?
Yeah. Because I don't want to get on there and blab because I don't know what I can say and what I can't.
Okay. All right.
One of the films is going to be in post for quite some time. The second film, the one I built the spaceship for, that should be ready for distribution, I don't know, in a couple of months.
Will you put together a trailer that would pop up first online somewhere?
Well, I'm not doing any of the editing and stuff like
Oh.
that, so that's completely out of my control. I give them the stuff, and then they go and do stuff. Now, I do have a short film coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's called Sasha and Clark, and that's something I shot last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's going to hit the short film circuit
Festival?
soon. Yeah.
Florida Film Festival, something like that?
I'm not in charge of it. I don't know. I just know that it's finished,
Okay.
and it will go out somewhere.
You have been busy.
Well, Art, I've spent a lot of money on camera crap.
Have you had time to just shoot photography?
No, I'm pretty much done with photography.
I don't believe that.
I have a few things that I do, but
Wait, you weren't joking just now?
no,
What?
I'm basically finished. Yeah,
Hold on.
it's all film now. I mean, it's all movies and short films and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, I've lost my passion for the still photography. I have a couple of projects that are still kind of ongoing, and I'll shoot a few people with it. But the days of me just shooting anybody and anything, that's done.
Well, you've done a lot of that. Maybe that was one chapter, and you're ready to move on to the next one,
Yeah.
or to the next step.
Like I said, I've lost my passion for the stills, and
Wow.
now it's into the moving pictures.
Excellent. That's really good news, though.
But what have you been doing for the last 6 months?
I've been at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been at school.
Teaching our future generation.
Yeah, something happened at school today. Even this will probably air in a couple of days, but today at school.
Was this the ending of the show that
Yeah,
you hinted about? Okay.
I knew nothing about this. So today I was at school, and at South Seminole Middle School, go Hurricanes, and we do this show on Fridays. Well, we do a show every morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Here's the lunch schedule, dress code. This.
And it's
Don't
live.
forget to do
You
that.
do a live show
Yeah,
every
we do
morning.
that live, and then we also record it and we put it up on YouTube and Facebook later in the day so the parents can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So today we did a show on Friday. We do a show in the afternoon on Fridays where the teachers come in, or kids who just came back from a field trip, and when they say, "Oh, we did this and that. Oh, let's go to the photos of that." And so last week the assistant principal said, "We want to do a show about this thing." And I was like, okay, cool, come on up. We just hit the cameras on it. We just do pretty much what we're doing right now. And they said, that's actually not the reason we came up here. We came up here to let you know that you've been nominated for Rookie of the Year, Student Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
And they came in with the balloons, and all my
Wait.
coworkers were there. And now
Your student rookie of the film?
I'm sorry, not student. Teacher. Did I say student?
Rookie. Yeah.
Teacher of
Okay.
Rookie Teacher of the Year, which means first year
Well,
teacher. Rookie Teacher of the
that
Year at
something?
South Seminole Middle School, and now I go on to the next level, and now I compete. I compete at the Seminole County level for Seminole County Rookie Teacher of the Year.
What's the nomination process for that? Like, do the kids do it? Do the other
I think
faculty
it's just
does
I
it?
think it's faculty. I don't
Okay.
think students were involved in that because there's no way they could have kept that secret.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know that thing existed. So they lied about the whole thing about coming up to talk to me about this
Now-
this portion of the school, and it's like
Now-
I even had clips ready to go. Like, oh, we're talking about this today.
They told you that they were going to talk about something different?
we want to talk about something different. I was like, oh, good.
Okay.
I have clips for that
All
because
right, because whenever anybody says, I'd like to talk to you, or I'd like to, and they're not specific about it, you're always shitting your pants. You're like,
no, they were
"Oh, this
specific,
is
which
it."
totally fooled
Yeah,
me.
Good.
They
Okay.
totally fooled me. We were going to talk about what's called the PBS suite, and the acronym for PBS is positive.
Public broadcast.
No.
system.
See, that's what I think. It's PBS.
Yeah.
It's positive. Oh, I just forgot the B. Positive.
Well, there goes your nomination.
Yeah, out
Sorry.
the window.
Yoink.
Right out the window. I just totally blanked on PBS. It'll come to me in a minute.
Peanut
but
butter
I should
and
know it right.
salami.
Positive behavior
Seminar.
positive. It's when kids do something good, they give them a little coupon. It says, "Hey, great job. You get to turn this in the cafeteria, and you get to win this, and this."
Oh, cool. Okay.
So one of the administrators there took an old closet near the cafeteria and turned it into what he called the PBS suite. He's got a velvet rope there. They put a foosball table in there and a karaoke machine, and you can have your lunch in there with some of your friends. You're rewarded for that.
Nice.
So I said, "Cool. You guys want to talk about that? I've got clips
Wait
of
a
them."
minute. So they give the winner their own table.
Yeah, they have their own table, and they brought in Bubbaloo's
So
barbecue one day and say, "Congratulations."
Super easy for all the other kids in the school to go.
Right. No,
Yeah,
but it's
like that.
a roped off separate room.
All right.
I'm trying to remember the S in PBS. It's coming to me. So I was like, cool, I got clips of that. And then we played those clips. They sold it. I mean, we did those clips for like 5-6 minutes. And then suddenly the principal was like, that's not the reason we came up here. And then they came in with the balloons and the applauding and all the people there. It was so cool. They did that today. And so now I go to the county level of Rookie of the Year.
Well, I'm not going to say that that's unexpected. I mean, being green, being a new kind of
First year
curriculum
teacher,
curriculum in the school.
Yeah.
Of course, it's something that you love doing, and
Yes.
you're not bitter and jaded yet.
It's been
with the teaching system.
It's been great, and they supplied me with all the cool toys this year, with the cameras and the studio, and we built the TriCaster for. They gave me all the cool toys that teachers in the past didn't get to have. Whoever did a TV broadcasting at the middle school level. So every week I'll go out and record the basketball games. So we did volleyball this year. Fine,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm just with one camera, back and forth volleyball. Awesome. Basketball season starts, and this one teacher, Mr. Cornia, says, hey, I used to do announcing for games. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll hook up a microphone right up to the camera, one camera, it'll be great. And he comes in, he's like, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And then he brought in a color guy, so there was two of them doing
Oh my
color
gosh.
commentary.
Nice.
I added a second camera that only shot the scoreboard, and I squeezed that back. So the most recent game that are up online now had the scoreboard in the corner with two logos that I made in Photoshop of both schools and two full announcers. This is in the middle school level. You don't see I don't think in some high schools or colleges that do something at that level.
So you're basically overachieving level 11, and all the other faculty hate you.
That is possible. That is possible. But then again, I don't know. Faculty voted on that or on the Rookie of the Year thing. I love the title, Rookie of the Year at 47 years old. Rookie of the Year.
What's cool is that was there a program before you were there?
There was, but they didn't have. They had one camera, one 4x3 camera, and one 4x3 switcher, and a green screen, and it was just like what I see at every school. Every
wonder-
elementary and middle school is like that.
Is the person that was kind of heading that up still at that school?
No, matter of fact, there were 3 teachers in 3 years
Okay.
who did that
Oh.
program that moved on or did something else.
Oh,
And
wow.
So when I came to volunteer last year,
Wonder if
it was
anybody-
another new teacher, and she had no equipment. She had no tools at her disposal, and then the county finally,
What if any of them keep up with the web the Facebook pages, and they're looking
one
at
of them
your,
doesn't. They're looking at
looking
it
at
like,
your projection
what
going,
the?
wait a minute.
Because I edit together this fancy open
Yeah.
for the school, and it adds credibility to it. But this basketball game now with the 2 announcers that are teachers, it's so cool to listen to them. And these middle school kids are now watching themselves in what looks to be like a professional basketball game.
It's like, what did they rent out? Waffle 35? What is that? How would that? Yeah, I can see that happening.
So I'm having tons of fun there. They gave me all the cool toys. We're learning Photoshop. We're learning Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
Because they gave us the full Adobe suite. I mean, they gave
Nice.
us Dreamweaver and all these other things we'll never use, but it's because they bought the Adobe CC Cloud.
I mean, don't
Adobe
don't
CC.
say you'll never use it. Maybe the program will expand into web design and stuff like that. And
Right.
maybe they will one day have
it's
a use
possible. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again. Just play the first 20 seconds of this most recent basketball game.
for it. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh, that looks.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to South Seminole Middle School here in Castleberry, Florida. For the
Castleberry?
second of tonight's doubleheader, it's the South Seminole Hurricanes against the Millwee Spartans.
Oh, look at that.
Steve Cornell
I got the
with
scoreboard in the
you
corner.
tonight, and with me this
I got the
evening,
logo on the far
Coach
left side for
David
the school, and then the 2
Bobby
teams,
Adamowitz,
Hurricanes versus Millwee.
civics teacher, scholar, gentleman.
And then we got a
That's
color
terrific.
commentator. So I can't imagine any other middle school or high school that does
No.
this.
No.
So and unfortunately we lost these 2 games. JV and varsity boys lost these 2 games, but I sent them off to the principal of the other school like, hey, your kids were great. Check this out.
Nice.
And then that was Wednesday, and then today at the show, boom, Rookie of the Year. I love it. Rookie of the Year title. That's a cool title.
You know what? In 6 years, you're going to be heading up Seminole. Not what is it?
Seminole County.
Seminole County. Yes, Seminole County AV production.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are guys there who do that, who they just come in and they just do that for all the schools.
Uh-huh.
And I think most of this elementary schools and middle schools are just like, here's a folding table and here's a green screen. Now you do the news, and it's like they've got one microphone.
Yeah.
It's like, good morning, students. But we turned it into what you would see on the regular news. After doing that for all these years, it was nice to bring it to a middle school level.
Well, not bad.
It's been a lot of fun. So that's what I've been doing,
big,
other than the
big golf
other
clap
podcast
for you.
So for the school, I've been busy and having a lot of fun. For the new podcast, busy, a lot of fun. That's been all that's been keeping me busy.
All right. Well,
And-
this is what happens when I don't see you for months.
You started a production company. I had no idea.
You got Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. That just happened today. That was so much
Nice.
fun. Maybe Todd will come and visit with us.
Well, we are at the 58-minute mark, so we'll probably end this episode.
Yeah.
And then next episode, we'll be speaking with the man.
Okay, well, good. Then I forget what episode this is. 120. It's been a while since the Star Wars.
It's
Did we do
the-
one since the Star Wars?
It's the tax day. No, I don't think we did. It's the tax day episode.
I was thinking we did one out there after Star Wars.
I think that was before Star Wars.
Maybe it was before Star Wars. But Star Wars came out in December.
When did Twin Peaks end?
Never. It's still in my head playing.
Okay.
I
You know
guess
what?
I could check the
We
page.
might have done one, but
We might
it's-
have done
It's
one.
been a while.
But you know what? We love it when people comment. We love it when you subscribe. Because the damn Miata show doesn't even exist anymore, and it's got 5 times more viewers than we've got.
No, it's only got 2,100.
Oh, no. You got more. 2,100 subscribers?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but we're like 200 subscribers. You're
Well,
at 2,100.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
My channel says that the last episode we did was episode 147, Star Wars The Last Jedi premiere, and it was 4 hours and 25 minutes long.
There you
so
go.
we haven't done a show in 3 months. 3 months ago? Has
that
it been
right?
3 months? It
Yeah.
says 3 months.
Well, because it hasn't flipped to 4 months yet, because that would have been December, and we're in the 4th month here. As soon as it's April
You're
14th,
right.
it'll flip to.
You're
4
right. And it probably took a few days to get it up on
Right
there.
on.
And then before that, we were here with Brian Downs 4 months ago, it says. And 4 hour and 25-minute show. So we haven't done a show since then. And since then, you started a production company.
No, I work at the production company. It's not my company.
Oh, don't say
In fact,
that.
I'm a
Silent
independent
partner?
I'm an independent contractor. I'm not even
okay. So you
really
don't have to deal with
part
doing
of it.
taxes and stuff. You
Oh,
just,
no.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. That's the best way to do this.
Yeah.
Anything you
call me when they need me.
Anything you want to say before we go?
No, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back. And remember here, we're at Gods and Monsters. You need to come on out here. They are still on iDrive.
That's right. We did not talk enough about this place, but I think that's going to be all Gods and Monsters next episode.
Coming up in our next episode, maybe we'll try and talk to Todd and Anna about their most recent Orlando Sentinel article where they were interviewed talking about things that have happened since they left that other place.
I do remember seeing something about
Yeah,
that.
I read the article, and maybe they can comment on that. So,
Cool.
so for now, leave your comments down below. Ask us any questions, and come on down to Gods and Monsters.
They have stuff here.
Lots and lots of stuff.
Cool stuff.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.